Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. This is the first podcast for counsellors that just don't align with the traditional approaches to business and that want to use their spiritual gifts, talents, and interests to create, you guessed it, a private practice with soul. So, look, leave it to me to provide you with everything you need, including strategies that you can use to increase your income, reduce your workload, and of course, increase inquiries and referrals to your beautiful soul-led private practice. I love it so much. If you haven't done it already, grab your journal, grab your pen, and let's begin. Welcome back. So great to have you here. So, hey, just before we get started, guess what? I bought this book and it's called Astrology, a guided workbook to understand and explore the wisdom of the universe. And I'm trying to see who the author is, but it just says Chatwell Books. Anyway, I don't normally buy books on astrology because I've always thought it was too complicated for me to learn. But what I like about this is it's an actual guided workbook. And I'm really excited to work my way through it. One of the first things I had to do was download my birth chart. And I did that from a website called astrocafe.com. Was free, and I had to put in the exact time of my birth, location and year, and it gave me this really detailed plan, kind of report, and found out I've got Taurus ascending. So that was very exciting. Looking forward to knowing what that actually means. Said lots about being a Virgo, of course. And, so much of it I was sitting there going, oh, that really does sound like me. So I don't know if that's just me. It's kind of like when you study psychology and you're learning about assessment and diagnosis, you go through the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. That's what it's called. It's in its 5th edition now. It's recently been updated and revised. But when you're learning that in psychology, you start to identify with all of the diagnoses and you think, oh, I've got that. And so I was reminded about that last night when I was reading my natal chart. So yeah, that's my latest passion. The other thing that I want to share with you is, as some of you know, I've been working behind the scenes, getting these memberships set up, and it was a big job. Did it all in ClickFunnels. I had to learn that while I was going, and not only that, but guess what? Started Facebook ads. I know my account was disabled for like the longest time, and I paid these 2 specialists to help me get it undisabled or whatever it is, like activated again. And they couldn't do it. And I did the Facebook chat thing, and they're like, oh, you violated a community standard. I was like, well, what community standard? And they couldn't tell me or wouldn't tell me or whatever. I mean, they're all very nice about it, but they wouldn't give me any clarity. So, and it got permanently deleted. So yeah, I was looking for all kinds of workarounds and everything. And anyway, I found out actually had a couple of ad accounts, didn't I? So I didn't need to go and pay all that money to those Facebook people. But anyway, so I've got this other ad account, all good, and started playing with ads. And I have to say, I've always been a skeptic. But what I know now is I didn't know the first thing about running Facebook ads before. But now it seems to be going really well. And by that, I mean, like, it's early days. So I'm not a guru. I don't aspire to guru status with Facebook ads. I've got my goal. But what I can tell you is that, you know what, once you learn how to do it, it makes total sense. I can tell you some of the things I stuffed up with it, so that you don't make the same mistake. One of the big mistakes I did was boosting posts. Huge mistake. Turns out when you go to run paid ads, if you've boosted a post before, you get like big penalties. So I'm just trying to work through them all at the moment and make friends again with Facebook. And then the other things that I did was I just kind of went into Facebook ads it's called Business Manager. I went to Facebook Business Manager, then into Ads Manager, and then I just tried to wing it, okay? I just thought like I could figure it out because one of the things you probably know about me is that I like to think I'm pretty resourceful. Like I like to think I'm kind of like MacGyver when it comes to business. I like to think I can take, little bits or little scraps or unrelated things and make something amazing from them. So I thought when I went into Facebook ads, I could just teach myself, and it was all going to be great. But what happened was I wasn't aware that I was actually making some big blunders. And by that, I mean, I didn't know how to pick my audience correctly. I thought that I was because I was using so much detail, but nope, turns out I wasn't. I thought, it was, I had this picture in my mind of, a Facebook ad should cost, $50 for the whole ad. And so I was running ads for like $5 a day and things like that. Turned out that was a little bit of a blunder on my part. And the other thing too that I was stuffing up was I had bad graphics, I had bad copy. And by that, I meant if I put the copy from my ads on my website or if I shared it with you on Facebook, you'd probably go, hey, this is fine. But what I know now is it wasn't converting because it wasn't written in a way that would make it convert. So there's strategy to how you have to write a Facebook ad. And now I understand what that is. And the other thing that I used to have as a mistake was I used to expect instant results. So I would throw $5 or $10 at a Facebook ad that I created. I'd put it out there and then I'd keep checking it. And if it had been a day and nothing had happened, I was turning it off and then I was creating a new one, or I would put more money on it for a day and then I would turn it off and create a new one and things like that. But anyway, I know now what I should have actually been doing in those situations. So that's all good. And the other thing that I've been doing is learning how to get more, what do I want to say? You got two kinds of audiences, okay? So one kind of audience is called your cold audience, and that's people who've never heard from you before. So I made a huge mistake, and that was trying to sell stuff to people who never heard of me before. That's why it didn't work. Anyway, so I've been learning all of this stuff just quietly behind the scenes and loving it. And now I have two really amazing, beautiful success stories that I will share with you at some point down the track when I've got permission from clients. But it's just really nice, and it feels so good to be learning, and I love it so much. The other things that have been happening on my side of the planet at the moment in the groups, so in Clients on Demand, they are just an amazing bunch of people in there. We're all looking at their content writing at the moment, and I'm a bit brutal with it. Well, I don't think I'm that brutal, in terms of the words that I use or the feedback that I give. But I am, I know that they're all women in this current intake. I know that these women are capable of so much more. They just don't see it. And because I do, I'm saying, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. And some of them have done the same piece of work 4 times and some even more than 4 times. And it's just been amazing seeing the progress that they've been making. And I can't wait to see all their websites and stuff like that. It's so much fun. The other things that are going on, we had the training in the Success Hub, and that was again so much fun. That was on optimizing business pages, because a lot of the counselors in private practice use their Facebook business page, but they're not getting any results. And so I wanted to help them out with that and give them really thorough training on how to do that. So I did that for the Success Hub, and now that Inner Circle have access to all of that in their portals. So much fun. And of course, did more coaching with both of those groups this week and Clients on Demand. So it's it sounds really busy, but it's loads of fun. And at the moment, what am I doing? Oh, I've decided to only open Clients on Demand twice a year now. So the decision has been made. Someone was asking me that during the week. They were like, oh, I'll just wait until October when it comes around again. Well, no, I've decided it's only going to be twice a year. It's already been twice this year. I don't know. Like, I need to work out my calendar because I'm going to create for myself. This is something I get the clients to do in Clients on Demand, or the members to do in Clients on Demand rather. And that's, they're going to be creating calendars for themselves for when they want to launch things, because some of them not only provide things like counselling and therapies, but some of them also do online groups, or they want to start online groups, while others are selling products, diaries, planners, candles, oils, things like that. So they will want to be able to do little launches as well. So I want to teach them how to do that. But I need to work out my calendar first. So let me just have a look when my next launch is going to be. If I go quiet, I'm still here. I'm just looking at my launch. Oh, okay. So look, I will have a launch in... Looks like I'll be launching in November. I'm just looking at my little calendar. So, yeah, okay. I'll be launching in May and November. So I can do November this year. And then next year it'll be May and November. And the year after, May and November. So I'm just going to keep it to May and November. Okay. So, yes, if you are on the waiting list, you will get to join for a November start. So, yeah. That's exciting. Okay, I've got some work to do then for a little launch, don't I? So yeah, all that's kind of happening in the background. Lots of fun. But what did I want to talk with you about today? Yes. Okay. So this is it. When we're in private practice, and especially when we've got a couple of variables, like maybe we're just starting out and we want to fill our diary, we want to see clients, or maybe we need to, increase our turnover for the business and things like that. Sometimes some of us can fall to the mercy of the client's wishes and desires. And by that, what I mean is you may very well have a diary that's equipped to see clients during school hours, for example, but you start to notice that you're attracting clients who work during the day and they want to be able to have an evening appointment with you. And, for whatever reason, you choose to accommodate that. Now, I want to speak into this because it's so, so, so important. First off, that will happen from time to time, especially if you've got set hours. And it doesn't matter if they're 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You're always going to get people who want to see you after hours and on weekends. For me, I only see clients in mornings, but I always get the odd one that wants a weekend or, an evening appointment. I just don't do them because I'm at a point now. I wasn't always at this point, but I'm at a point now where I feel very comfortable just saying, do you know what? If you can't come during these hours, then I can't support you at this point in time. You're welcome to come back later on. I can recommend, this coach or this mentor or this supervisor in the interim. So I can do things like that. But some people don't. Some people are, maybe it's scarcity mindset or fear mindset, fear of losing a client or something like that. So they will accommodate the client and they will see them in the evening or they will see them on the weekends. And this can be problematic because when we don't respect our boundaries, we're not going to attract clients that respect our boundaries. You, as the owner of your private practice, get to make the guidelines. You get to choose your hours, and it's safe for you to honor those. Okay. I think sometimes when we agree to do things after hours, it can lead to resentment because now all of a sudden we can't just, well, I wanted to say, I won't say it. We just want to, at the end of the day, we just want to put on our tracksuit or put on our pajamas and take off our makeup and, all of that sort of stuff and put our hair up in the messy bun. And we just want to do that. But now we can't because we kind of got to stay nice because we've got this client coming at 7:00. Or you want to have a sleep in on Saturday morning, but now we can't because we've got to get up, get showered, put the face on, light your candles, do all your stuff for your client. So it starts to it can start to, I should say, build a sense of resentment, especially if you are going to all of the trouble of sacrificing your downtime with your family, sacrificing your personal time for a client, and then that client either doesn't pay or they don't turn up or they ghost you and things like that. So I really feel like just don't do it. If you want to see clients and you want to have capacity to accommodate clients that will come after hours and on weekends, update your diary to reflect that. And this will just mean that you can be really prepared for it. So start there, be really prepared there. And then what I would do is, what was I going to say? Yeah, I would just stick with that, and also charge a surcharge for after hours and weekend appointments, and even if you're working on public holidays. So do charge a surcharge. And for those of you who are like me, and you can take your iPad or your phone and you can work while you're on holiday, you can let people know, look, I'm on leave, but if you still need that appointment, I'll see you, and that's fine. I'm happy to do it, but there will be a surcharge as I'm actually on leave. And I think you'll find most of the time people will either wait, it's not that urgent, or they'll pay you the surcharge and honour and respect your time. So that's the way that I would go about it and set it up. Now, sometimes clients might say to you, oh, I need an after hours appointment because I can't come during the day because I work. Well, the thing is, or the reality I should say, is that workplaces do allow all employees time away to go and attend to medical appointments and, health appointments, and counselling falls under that umbrella. If a client needs evidence that they've attended appointment with you, counsellors can write a letter of attendance. I would just be mindful about what you put in that letter. What I tend to do is I just have a sentence or two that just says, to whom it may concern, please be advised that Jane Doe / John Citizen attended an appointment at this office on this date. And I just leave it like that. And I'll put my name. I don't put my qualifications and say I'm a mental health counsellor or anything like that, because I want to be mindful of this person's confidentiality. So I'll put it on my letterhead, of course, but my letterhead's discreet. So just be mindful. You might want to create a different type of letter if somebody's taking it to work, because they have a right to their privacy. You can just put the name of your clinic on there, or you could just put your name and your mobile number. Do write on that letter that it's private and confidential, of course, and do, before you give a letter of attendance, get an authority to do so in writing from the client, and keep it in your file. So if you're doing digital files and things like that, you can just scan it. Like I use I use an app on my phone called Genius Scan, and it's a free app, and you just use it like a camera, and it will put the focus on the document that you want to scan. And then you just tap a button and it will do all the scanning for you, and you can just email it to yourself and then upload it to your practice management software. So it's all there in a diary and it's just done, and you can do it while the client's there, do it in the session time, totally fine. So that's how I would get around it if your client's needing, a proof or evidence that they were at a doctor's appointment or at a health appointment. Okay, so they're the ways around it. Now, when it comes to what do you charge for a surcharge, totally up to you. The industry average is anywhere from $20 to $50. You just have to choose a fee that aligns with you. So maybe you just want to start at a $20 or a $25 surcharge. A lot of the time people will either pay it or they'll find a way of attending during the day if they don't want to pay it. And it's the same for weekends, and it's the same for public holidays. If you are open to seeing a client while you're on leave, which I would advise against, because you do need your downtime. But if you do have a client, as I sometimes do, that needs an appointment while you're on leave, if you're happy to see them and it's not going to be a big bother for you, and you like to go ahead with it, it's absolutely no problem. Just let them know that there will be like a $50 surcharge or something because you're actually on your holiday. So I hope that that helps. It's not around really being creative and coming up with all these master plans of how we deal with it. I really feel like when you create a private practice from your soul, a private practice with soul, it's always about connecting with what feels right for you at a soul level. So the way to find out what to do is to, a practice might be to just close your eyes and put your hands on your heart and breathe into it for a moment. Just breathe really sort of naturally. The goal here is just to settle yourself down. So if you're in your chair, maybe if your legs are crossed, just uncross them and put your feet flat on the ground. That can be really helpful. And just take a moment to breathe. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to ask for that guidance to come through. And you're just going to say, what's the right aligned action for me to take, and just listen to what comes through. And when you receive that guidance, you're just going to either feel gratitude, or you might say thank you out loud, or whisper it, or in your head you might say thank you, and then you're going to take action from that space. Just a little tip when you're accessing guidance from within, when you're doing it the right way, the guidance will always be loving. It will always be kind, gentle, and loving. If what you hear is, I shouldn't charge a surcharge because then I'm going to lose my client, that's ego talking. That's not your soul talking. Okay, so that's a clue just to sort of stick with it for a moment. Just breathe. Just allow yourself to get really calm. If it helps you, you might want to imagine, some beautiful tree roots going from the sole of your feet right down into the core of the earth, through all the layers of the earth, and then curling around, beautiful orange sphere of energy and of light, and then allowing yourself to soak up that beautiful grounding earth energy all the way up from the roots, all the way up to the soles of your feet. Okay, and just allow yourself to really feel grounded. If you want to take it further, you could imagine you have a column of light going from the crown of your head all the way up to the sky above, the stars above, the heavens above, just above, connecting you to your higher consciousness, connecting you to source energy, connecting you to God energy, connecting you to, higher consciousness or higher perspective, and allow yourself to imagine that, you're receiving guidance. That guidance is coming down from the top, down into your crown, down into your crown chakra. And just allow yourself to receive it. Be supported below and supported above. See what comes through in terms of what feels right for you, in terms of your next aligned action when it comes to seeing your clients in certain hours, as well as evenings and weekends. And then when you've received the guidance, you're just going to feel grateful, feel gratitude. Okay, it's really important that you feel the emotion of gratitude. Why? Because that's going to raise your vibration. Why is that important? Well, when you raise your vibration, it means that the action that you take, in this case, updating your diary or updating your schedule or your hours, is going to attract the right sorts of clients to your practice. Be that clients who are happy to invest a little bit of extra money, or people who are happy to accommodate your diary and see you during your regular hours instead of outside of them. So I hope that this was really, really helpful today. I love teaching this sort of stuff, and I go into this in a lot more detail, as you can imagine, in the Private Practice Success Hub. We also have the Inner Circle, but that only opens twice a year as well. But maybe for now, if you're wanting some help with getting the private practice going, you could definitely join the Success Hub. It's only $7. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can go and have a look. There is a coaching call in there every month, the first Monday of the month at 11 in the morning Melbourne time. It's recorded and you get transcript and things like that. Plus there's like loads of resources in there, from workshops to templates to PDFs to done for you things, swipe files, you name it, it's in there. Plus, if you have any questions, you can answer them. And let me start again. If you have any questions, you can ask them in that community and they'll be answered within 24 hours, which is really, 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 really good to know, because you're not going to be waiting. Okay. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any comments or if there are any topics that you would like discussed on the podcast, please let me know by contacting me on Instagram at The Private Practice Coach. I'll talk to you on Saturday. Bye. I hope that you loved this episode as much as I loved putting it together for you. To get more resources to help you in your private practice, head over to Instagram. My handle is at The Private Practice Coach. And also, if you want more inquiries and referrals for your business, let me know. I have a program called Clients on Demand that opens every quarter, and I can absolutely get you some information for that as well. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Bye.